Hi everyone, it's Nicola from Transfiguration Advisory here. Welcome to our first inspiration series in which we will illustrate how often the 5 MetaMindsets we talk about show up in different walks of life. This particular video is from the Collective Trauma Summit, and it's part of a conversation between Thomas Hubl, who's the convener of the summit, and Terry Real, who is a renowned international family therapist, specializing working with couples who are on the brink of divorce. In it, Terry shares a story from his therapeutic work that also beautifully illustrates Transfiguration Advisory's second meta-mindset. This is the classic shift from a reactive place of victimhood, in this case to our own patterns, stepping into a creative space of self-empowered agency. It's a beautiful example in a story, so enjoy.
And so the first skill is recognizing that. And I think both you and I have different ways of doing this, but we both agree you can cultivate shifting out of that reactive state into a more mature centered state. You can build that muscle with practice over time. And that's the way out of this mess. I've been telling the same story to all my little, but may I tell you a story that illustrates this moment?
Oh, yeah, I love stories. Yeah.
It's a true story. So, I deal with couples on the brink of divorce. The guy was a chronic pathological liar. He lied about everything. And he was the kind of guy, I say to him, the sky is blue. And he says, well, it's aquamarine. He's not going to give it to me. He won't give me blues. So I figure out very quickly what we call his relational stance, the adaptive child thing he does over and over again, which is the guy has a black belt in evasion. He's a liar. He's an evader. So I think relationally, the minute I get what the adaptation looks like, my next question is, who were you adapting to? So I ask a question that, if you're not thinking relationally, seems brilliant, but it's really pretty straightforward. I said, who tried to control you growing up? Right? Show me the thumbprint. I'll tell you about the thumb. If you have a black belt in evasion, who were you evading? He says, my father. Sure enough, military man, how he sat, how he ate, how he drank, the whole thing. I said, what did you do with this controlling father? And he looks at me and smiles. I love the smile. That's resistance. He looks at me and smiles and he says, I lied. So all this comes out, absolutely true story. That weekend, she sent him to the grocery store to get 12 things. True to form, he comes back with 11. She says, where's the pumpernickel? And he says, every muscle and nerve in my body was screaming to say they were out of it. And in this moment, I thought of you, Terry. I took a breath. I found my courage. I looked at my wife and I said, I forgot the pumpernickel. And she burst into tears. And she said, I've been waiting for this moment for 25 years. That's a true story. That's healing. That's how we heal, by shifting who we are in the interaction with the relationship.
That's very touching, very beautiful. Yeah.
And then to get to the larger context, that moment isn't just about healing us or our marriages and relationships. It's about healing the legacy. This is intergenerational. Who knows what that father was reacting to, and his father and his. You've heard this quote many times. It's my most often quoted piece from my first book. I don't want to talk about it, if I may. Family pathology rolls from generation to generation, like a fire in the woods, taking down everything in its path, until one person in one generation has the courage to turn and face the flames. That person brings peace to his ancestors and spares the children that follow. There's a great couples therapist, Heidi Schleffer, and when she sits with a couple, she asks them to bring pictures of their children.